Hey everyone, what is going on? So I do have more videos to shoutcast. In fact, I have a lot of submissions, so thank you for submitting them, all of you. But today I did want to go along my team, and this is the team that actually got me to rank 9. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't recording the games that got me to rank 9. These are the games that took place, I think, the set afterwards. But it's still a set, the same exact team that I used, and it's working really well for me. At least it has been. Things might change because I know Obstagoon is really big now, and so things might change. But this team really helped me out, and I've been doing really well with it. I'm currently at, I believe it's, I want to say 2549, I think is the exact rating I'm at. So I did really well with this team, and it is the team that got me to rank 9, so I'm pretty satisfied with it. But let's go ahead and take a look at the team. We're just going in with Swampert, Articuno, and Alolan Muck. So nothing super unique or anything. I mean, these Pokemon we have definitely seen before. So right now we're using Articuno versus Blaziken. Now honestly, I 100% expected to lose this game, but I got the double buff. So after that double buff, there's not many things that can stop a double buff Pokemon, so a little bit unfortunate for my opponent. Perhaps I should have lost this one, but hey, that's why I still keep Ancient Power on Articuno. I mean, I wouldn't mind Hurricane. In fact, I probably do prefer it, but I would have to use an Elite TM on it. I have an Articuno with Hurricane, but I would have to invest in it. And you know what? I might. Obviously, Hurricane would have been fantastic against that Blaziken. It would have knocked it out. So that's definitely something for you as well. But yeah, as of right now, currently have that Ancient Power. So we're going to be hit with a Charge Attack. Going to be that Moonblast. We're going to be able to take it with this Muck. Is this Cresselia debuffed? I don't remember. But I think it is, because that should have done a little bit more damage, I feel. But going for the Dark Pulse, knocking out the Cresselia, in comes Giratina. And yeah, I mean, this is definitely a good game. We're going to go for a Dark Pulse. And we're not going to be knocked out by Giratina's charge attacks, no matter what he has. Even if it's, Shadow Sneak, right? Dragon Claw, it's probably a Dragon Claw. Let's see, yep, gonna be a Dragon Claw. We're gonna be able to take it. Not by much, we actually do get knocked out with the Dragon Breath, so we can't get to another one, but it doesn't matter because we still have that healthy Swampert, so we're gonna bring that in right now. Taking this Dragon Claw, and you know what? A Hydro Cannon probably would have knocked out the Giratina, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I just went up for the Earthquake, and I knocked it out. Now, if we had Hurricane on Articuno instead of just going for Ancient Powers, that would have knocked out the Blaziken. So would we have won just going straight Hurricane? Perhaps. So, I mean, that might have been, obviously, in that case, we wouldn't have been relying on the buff. In this case, the buff is what definitely won it for us. We would have lost if we did not get that buff, that double buff, no doubt about it. But nonetheless, it's part of the game. It happens. Ancient Power was nerfed, as was Omnis Wind, but it's still amazing. So the next game we have Swampert versus Gyarados. So that's a bad matchup, so we're going to switch into Articuno. And he brings in Escavalier, which is a Pokemon I think is absolutely amazing. So this is really not a good matchup for us. So I'm going to go for the buff again and hope that I get it. And we actually do get it, guys. We get it again. So again, Hurricane would have been good in that situation as well. But now that I'm buffed up, I'm just going to go for Icy Wind, and if he decides to shield this, we're going to at least debuff him, right? So he does decide to shield it, probably expecting another Ancient Power, totally fine. So I'm charging up for another charge move. I do decide to shield this one up. Let's see what I decide to go for. Do I go for the Icy Wind? No, I think, I go Ancient Power. I wasn't sure if Icy Wind would knock it out because it's resisted. It probably would have after that buff, honestly. But either way, he doesn't shield. In comes that Granbull. So I'm going to go Icy Wind, fully expecting the shield at this point because this is going to be enough to knock out the Granbull. Or it's not, never mind. But either way, he doesn't shield and we could feint down with Ice Shard. And in comes that Gyarados, and trying to get to one more, we do get to it. Could have went for the Ancient Power, would have been super effective, but I go for the Icy Wind, just in case he decides to shield as he does, and we get the debuff. So we take a shield and lower his attack, and, I'm like, okay, we could definitely take a crunch. If it's a Hydro Pump, which it is, we're going to be able to take it because of the debuff. Even with the debuff, probably could have taken it, and we get to a Sludge Wave. So another game where Ancient Power mattered, so I guess more luck coming into play. But it is what it is. That's part of the game, as I said. But again, Hurricane would have been good. So at this point, my game decides to crash. So we still get the win. We still get the win. So I'm going to go ahead and restart up my game or reboot it up. This happens a couple times, unfortunately, but it's okay. It happens. It didn't affect the game, at least. It happened after we got the win, so it's okay. So we're just going to jump into the game. Actually, shiny checking that Nidoran. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's stop battling again. I was actually meaning to edit that part out, but I totally forgot about it until I started recording. So finding my next opponent, Charming Donut. And let's see what happens. It's going to be his Clone Charizard versus my Swampert. So definitely a huge match for me. He bails into Registeel. And I'm actually staying in. So I'm going straight. No, never mind. I go for the Hydro Cannon. So I go for the bluff. And hoping he picks up a shield or he decides to shield. He does. So we get a little bit lucky there. I'm going to go ahead and take this attack. But, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I still want that Swampert to try and deal with that Charizard. So I maybe should have blocked that Focus Blast because I want the Swampert for the Charizard. But at least he doesn't shield that. So I'm just going to go ahead and farm down at this range. I do shield this so I could farm down with Mud Shot. I was pretty confident I would be able to do so before he got to a Flash Cannon. But I know obviously the Charizard's not going to come in. So I was like, I want to keep that for later. So I switch. But unfortunately he switches. Obviously I knew he was going to. So I'm like, okay, we're going to go ahead and, well, an attack's coming through. So what do I decide to do? I decide to let it go down. Blast Burn doing a lot of damage. We go for the Sludge Wave. I wasn't sure if he would shield because he only has one shield. He does not decide to shield. So we do a lot of damage to that Charizard. Totally fine. And we actually feint him before having to use a charge move. So I am able to get off this Dark Pulse against whatever comes in. Going to be, of course, that Cresselia. Well, we knew it was Cresselia. Down goes my Alolan Muck. And now I could bring in, I believe I bring in Swampert because I have energy. And we're going to go for the Hydro Cannons. We have a couple Hydro Cannons ready to go. It's not, honestly, it doesn't do that much damage. But, I mean, the damage adds up. And plus, we could also possibly take a shield. So we're going to go for 2 Hydro Cannons. He is going to allow that to go through, and we're actually going to be able to get to another one. Now, I gotta tell you guys, I have been seeing Cresselia all the time, legitimately all the time in the Ultra League. I saw it quite a bit in Great League as well, now that it has Grass Knot, but I see it in like almost every other game. So I'm going to bring in my Articuno. And at this point, it's just a good game, so my opponent's going to back out. So yeah, I mean, really good game. And again, as I said, the game is just going to freeze up. So I'm going to back out, and we're going to jump into another one. But yeah, that happened twice in this set. Back-to-back, too. Pretty weird, right? I mean, but, you know, it happens. You have to wonder, though, what was the point of the game shutting down for like 6 hours on Monday if they really didn't fix any of this lag? Because I've still been experiencing quite a bit of lag, but it is what it is. So we're going to jump into the 4th game and see who my opponent is. But yeah, so first couple of games got really lucky with that Ancient Power, no doubt about it. But yeah, so I might consider going with Hurricane on Articuno, but I just have to invest in another one, and I don't want to right now. So we're faced up against this Snorlax, so I'm going to go ahead and allow this to go through. I knew it was Body Slam, so Body Slam still doing a good amount of damage to my Swampert, so I'm charging up quite a bit of energy, enough for back-to-back Hydro Cannons, so I'm going to go ahead and use the 2 Hydro Cannons. So we get one off, and we have another one right now. So again, just want to get damage off against this Snorlax. He does decide to shield that. I wasn't expecting to shield. Maybe he thought it was an Earthquake coming, or maybe he just didn't want to take that Hydro Cannon. So I do want to win the lead, so I am going to go ahead and shield this Body Slam. And we do get to that Hydro Cannon, so let's see if he decides to shield this one up, or if he lets it go through. He will let it go through, so we need one more Hydro Cannon. Can we get to it? He does get to a Charge Attack, so I do shield this. So what I'm going to do is get off the Hydro Cannon. And if he shields this, I'm going to switch into my Articuno and try and farm down. If he does not shield it, we're just going to stay in. He does shield it, so I'm going to bring in my Articuno and farm down with Icy Wind. So we still won the lead, and we have an Articuno with energy, right? So it's fantastic. Obviously, it wouldn't have been good if Registeel came in, but nonetheless, we still won the lead, going for the Icy Wind against this Giratina. And he actually brought in Giratina to take that Icy Wind hit and then bring in a Alolan Muck. So that actually makes sense in a way. I mean, obviously he took some damage with the ice attacks, which is never good. But he also wanted to clear that debuff, right, from the Giratina. So that's why he brought in Giratina and then switched into a Alolan Muck to clear the debuff. So that Gunk Shot does a lot. We would have been knocked out if we didn't debuff him. So again, Articuno really showing its strength. I've been loving Articuno, honestly. I do think I want that Hurricane, though, But yeah, anyway, he's gonna be able to knock out my Articuno totally fine. We know what he has. He has the Giratina. So I'm gonna bring in my Alolan Muck. We're gonna farm down, and he does not get to a charge attack, luckily for us. And now we have energy for his Giratina. So we know Alolan Muck is going to be able to beat Giratina, especially with energy. But even if we didn't have energy, it wouldn't have mattered. He will get off a charge attack. Doesn't matter what attack it is. This attack cannot take us out. Going to be a Dragon Claw, and we're just going to, yeah, a Snarl takes him out. So good game to my opponent. I'm loving Alolan Muck in the Ultra League. It beats Cresselia. It beats Giratina, right? You know, obviously super effective with Dark Pulse, doing really good damage to those Pokemon. Another Pokemon I have really had my eye on is going to be Escavalier, and I do plan on covering that in a future video because it beats a lot of the meta, like Cresselia, right? The new Obstagoon, which is really big. You know, Snorlax, right? It beats a lot of everything. Registeel. So I definitely want to try it out. So I'm getting ready for him to switch right now, and it looks like he's not switching. So I'm going to go ahead and I take this attack, and just in case my opponent baits, he does not. But, you know, even though he doesn't, that's fine. So I go for Earthquake, and he actually bails into Swampert. So that was a nice play in order to catch my attack, but at least it's going into his Swampert. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon, so at least picking up a shield or knocking him out, but he does decide to shield. And we'll have to see. I believe I shield this. I do want to win the lead, so I am going to go ahead and do just that. So going to be a Hydro Cannon, of course. And I am going to go for my Hydro Cannon, expecting to take his last shield, but he could decide to allow Swampert to go down, which he does. So Swampert will collapse. In comes his Articuno. Okay, so I'm like, okay, let me get to a Hydro Cannon before. Well, I'm not going to be debuffed. I'm going to be knocked out at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and knock him out. I don't switch because I don't want him bailing into his Registeel, like against my Articuno, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get off another Hydro Cannon. He does shield that, so at least we pick up his last shield. I bring in my Articuno, and obviously I'm fully expecting the Icy Wind. So it is going to be Icy Wind. Okay, totally fine. Now I could go for Ancient Power. What do I go for? I guess I do. We'll see what I go for. So he does get off another charge attack. Gonna let it go through because, again, I know what he has in the back. So I'm okay with allowing my Articuno to get relatively low because I know it can't really do much to his Registeel. So I do hit him with an Ancient Power. And we're trying to farm down. I was hoping to farm him down so I could have an Icy Wind. Now, I don't shield this. Maybe I should have shielded it so I could have an Icy Wind against his Registeel to lower his attack, right? So maybe I should have done that, but I'm okay because I still have a shield. So we're in a pretty good position. Obviously, Lock On, it's very difficult to farm down with Lock On. He certainly can't at this range. So I don't have much to worry about. I might as well use the shield on the first attack. No reason not to. It's going to be a Flash Cannon as I expected. Yeah, again, I could have blocked with the Articuno against his Articuno and had an Icy Wind to lower his attack, but I just decided to use that against his Registeel. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Dark Pulse. So this was actually a very close game, and I just need one more. Can I get to it before he gets to a Flash Cannon? And it must have been super close, but we get to it, and we're actually able to win this game. So very well played on my opponent's end, and fantastic games. Let me know what team you're using in the Ultra League, and thank you so much to all that submitted their games to me. I definitely am going to be shoutcasting them. But there's a lot of submissions, so bear with me, and we will get them out as soon as possible. And the encounter is going to be a Tepig. And as I said, I believe this got me to 2549, so we're getting there. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos that you'll probably enjoy.